So lots of firms have spent time and resources preparing for the next generation of investors. How do you define this next generation, and how should firms be thinking more broadly about what this group actually needs?
Yeah, it's a great question, Andrew. So when we're talking about the next generation, it's not just thinking about Gen Z and millennials. We're actually talking about truly the entire demographic. So from baby boomers onwards, moving through different life stages such as accumulation, pre-retirement, and decumulation. Rather than only focusing on age, firms need to think about the behaviors and needs of those segments. They may include things like digital first expectations, which are table stakes today, lower trust in institutions amongst the younger generations, and interest in new asset classes. A 25-year-old using a day trading app and a 65-year-old managing complex healthcare costs both need custom tailored solutions. And the key for firms is going to be meeting people where they are, not where their age says they should be from an accumulation or an AUM or a total portfolio perspective.
Right. And the industry continues to navigate substantial shifts across policy, technology, and a variety of other factors. What's the one change on the horizon that you view as underestimated or misunderstood by the industry today?
Yeah, I don't think that the great wealth transfer is going to play out the same way that many are expecting. It's not going to be a clean and linear transfer of wealth and assets. We're looking at a lot of complex factors like inheritance disputes, changing tax laws and policies, and a pretty uneven playing field for younger generations who are already struggling to accumulate wealth. Add in low institutional trust and a preference for more volatile assets, and it's clear that firms are going to need to adapt their operating models in the way in which they distribute and set clients up for success. Firms are going to need to go above and beyond the basics of providing products and figure out how to provide trust and relevance across generations.
And then global firms pride themselves on being able to serve clients seamlessly across markets. Given the continued rise of geopolitical tensions and regulatory change, do you view this global model as viable? And if so, how can firms best approach these international strategies given some of the challenges?
The idea of one centralized model serving the world doesn't hold up anymore. The reality is that continued geopolitical risk, regulatory fragmentation are now part of the landscape and aren't going away anytime soon. Firms that want to stay global are going to need to figure out how to be hyper local, using regional strategies, adaptable technology stacks and operating models, and maybe even thinking through affiliate style models and partnerships for distribution and product access. It's less about standardization and control now, and it's more about being flexible and hyper responsive in each of these local markets.
Beyond AI, what technologies do you think have the potential to fundamentally reshape how firms deliver value and how investors interface with wealth or the industry as a whole?
Well, we're really excited about things like tokenization. They open up access to exposures like private credit, real estate infrastructure in a meaningful way. Data interoperability will give investors a true portfolio view across public and private assets and allow easier and more efficient decision-making across organizations. Longevity tech is another topic that I think is going to fundamentally impact the asset and wealth management industry. As people live longer and have requirements for more personalized planning, healthcare expenses, biometric-based planning and scenarios, I think we'll see the sort of rise of wearables, much more access to things like blood testing at scale, more frequent concierge type healthcare services. I think that's going to fundamentally change the way in which we think about how technology will impact the next generation of investors. And then finally, quantum computing, thinking through some of the use cases there around fundamentally changing the way in which firms do risk modeling, data security, and some of the other technology operations.
Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much, Evan.
Thanks.